I'm Nurin Razmyn, and this is Nightline, the top stories. Cabinet mulls measures to tackle bullying, violence in schools. And allegations of falsifying documents. FAM suspends Secretary General. Good morning. The Cabinet has agreed to review a proposal to ban the use of mobile phones in schools for students under the age of 16 as part of immediate measures to address growing concerns over school safety, including bullying and violent crimes involving students. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said teachers should also be given limited authority to discipline students within strict guidelines.
Dan guru kalau saya, dia orang mungkin anggap ini pendidikan lama. Ya, kita terdidik dalam sistem, janganlah sampai pukul, hampuk kepala sampai luka. Tapi untuk guru, menegur, menguatan tangan, hal-hal yang ringan sedikit. Tapi kadang-kadang golongan hak asasi liberal ni kadang keterlaluan, tak boleh langsung. Jadi bila mari masalah ni, kita kena bagilah sedikit kelonggaran dengan syarat-syarat yang ketat.
The Prime Minister added that the role of parent-teacher associations will be strengthened to support better discipline in schools. He said Friday's cabinet meeting focused on addressing public concern over rising cases of student indiscipline and violence, following several recent incidents, including the fatal stabbing of a student by a schoolmate in Bandar Utama, Petaling Jaya last Tuesday. Meanwhile, Anwar stressed the need to restrict smartphone use among students under 16, similar to policies already enforced in several other countries. He said the government remains committed to tackling negative online influences, including harmful social media content and gaming apps, but stressed that parents must also play an active role and monitor what their children consume online.
Kita juga dapati kesan pengaruh media sosial dan juga apps gaming, ya, bukan gaming, ya, games online ni, ya, dan kadang-kadang menjurus kepada banyak tindakan-tindakan yang jenayah. Itu kita akan ambil tindakan melarang penggunaan smartphone untuk pelajar-pelajar rakyat umur 16 tahun ke bawah. Penelitiannya masih lagi dibuat, tapi banyak negara telah melaksanakan, masih mengizinkan telefon untuk penggunaan anak-anak, tetapi saya fikir harus kita tegas dalam hal ini.
Anwar added that student safety will be closely monitored by the police and the Home Ministry. At the same time, he reminded school administrators not to conceal crimes, cases of bullying or disciplinary issues in an attempt to protect the school's image.
Pengetua guru besar, dia nak melindungi imej sekolah. Anak-anak mengudum bertempur, dia duk kira imej sekolah. Jadi sebab itu, kita harus juga menekan mereka bertanggungjawab, ya. Kalau ada dilindungi, maka dianggapkan satu kesalahan, macam melindungi jenayah.
Also in talks are plans to raise the minimum age for social media access from 13 to 16 years old as part of efforts to curb the negative influence of online platforms among students. Communications Minister Datuk Fahmi Fadzil said similar measures have already been implemented in countries such as Australia and Indonesia as concerns grow over the impact of social media on school children.
Cara had umur ini akan dikuatkuasakan adalah melalui pendaftaran berdasarkan dokumen rasmi kerajaan seperti MyCard, pasport dan juga My Digital ID.
He said this during a press conference after the cabinet meeting on Friday. Fahmi added that the matter will be raised by the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, or MCMC, in an upcoming meeting with social media platform representatives in Singapore next week. Meanwhile, checks at the school in Bandar Utama on Friday found that security measures had been significantly stepped up, including introducing the use of metal detectors. A TV3 crew stationed at the school around 7 a.m. observed teachers and prefects conducting thorough inspections on students before they were allowed to enter the premises. According to sources, a two-tier screening process is now in place involving body checks at the main gate, followed by bag inspections to ensure that no prohibited or dangerous items, especially sharp weapons, are brought in. Parents met outside the school welcomed the move, describing it as necessary in light of recent events.
Sekarang ni kan banyak terpengaruh dengan media sosial. Dan kadang-kadang barang yang dibawa di sekolah tu benda yang tak perlu. Jadi apa-apa pun kerjasama tu saya tak blamekan dari segi daripada kes ni, saya tak blame pada ibu bapa ataupun guru ataupun kementerian ni tentunya. Tetapi bagi saya kerjasamalah daripada semua pihak.
Kalau boleh jangan bawa telefon dekat sekolah. Dia boleh macam kurang memang lemah lah. Dekat rumah pun parent kena jaga sikit. Parent pun salah juga kan. Jangan bagi telefon banyak lah.
A number of police personnel and officers from the State Education Department were also seen at the premises. Meanwhile, several non-governmental organizations have suggested that the enhanced security checks be extended to other schools, particularly those identified as high risk.
Tentunya tak semua sekolah akan dapat atau perlu memasang pengesanan ini. Mungkin dicadangkan secara terpilih sahaja, utamanya bagi sekolah-sekolah yang dikesankan berkumpulan atau telah terlalu panas.
The fatal incident occurred on Tuesday when a 16-year-old female student was stabbed to death by a 14-year-old male student inside the girls' restroom. Football Association of Malaysia Secretary General Datuk Nur Razmyn has been suspended amid allegations that falsified documents were submitted to FIFA over the issue of heritage players. Its Deputy President, Datuk S. Sivasundaram, said on Friday that the decision to suspend Nur Razmyn was made by the FAM Executive Committee on Thursday.
The General Secretary of FAM will be suspended from duty effective today, pending further investigations in order to allow an independent committee to carry out the exercise.
Sivasundaram added that FAM had formed a committee to prevent this issue from recurring. The committee, to be known as the Independent Administrative and Governance Committee, will examine the internal handling of the 7 players' naturalization and registration and identify procedural lapses within FAM's administrative chain. Previously, Nur Razmyn said the dispute stemmed from a technical error by FAM's administrative staff while submitting documents to FIFA. As a result, FIFA has fined FAM about 1.8 million ringgit, while 7 heritage Malaysian players have been suspended for 12 months and fined 10,560 ringgit each for violating Article 22 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code. Meanwhile, the fate of the 7 Harimau Malaya heritage players, whether they will be allowed to return or remain suspended, is expected to be known on October 30th. This latest development was confirmed by FAM's legal counsel, Sergio Vitos, who maintained that the national football body had committed no wrongdoing and had already filed an appeal with FIFA.
The decision was issued on 26th September 2025. On 14 October, so within the prescribed deadline, we filed an appeal. We have learned today that the decision would be issued on 30 October 2025 by the appeal committee. So the decision will be taken on 30 October and most likely notified to the parties either the same day or a few days later.
Vitos added that if the outcome is unfavorable, FAM can still appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport or CAS. Meanwhile, national team CEO Rob Friend made his first public appearance in 3 weeks, stressing he had no role in verifying documents for the heritage players. He clarified that Harimau Malaya operates independently from the FAM administration, focusing only on technical and performance matters, while all player registrations are handled by FAM. So far, FAM has refused to disclose the 7 players' family backgrounds, citing concerns that it could affect the ongoing investigation. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim expressed hope for the Kota Madani project to be completed as soon as possible, turning the vision of a city that is not only modern and high-tech, but also rooted in human values into reality. The Prime Minister said the development must strike a balance between physical, digital and technological progress while ensuring that the essence of humanity remains central to its foundation. Anwar stressed that a city's progress should not be measured merely by its skyscrapers or modern infrastructure, but also by its beauty, cleanliness, environmental consciousness, and cultural integrity.
Bandar itu harus tentunya bersih, indah, lestari, ada hijaunya, prihatin tentang perubahan iklim dan tekanan baru, harus modern, harus smart city, harus AI, okey semua itu. Tetapi dalam mengambil kira semua faktor ini, yang kita nak bangunkan sekali lagi itu manusia. Dan ini cabaran terbesar.
The Prime Minister was speaking at Putrajaya Holdings' 30th anniversary celebration on Friday night. The event was also attended by Communications Ministry Secretary General Datuk Seri Fauzi Mat Isa, Education Ministry Secretary General Datuk Aminuddin Hasim, and Media Prima Berhad Group Chairman Datuk Seri Dr. Syed Hussein Al-Junid. Kota Madani, conceptualized by Anwar, is a major expansion and redevelopment project in Putrajaya, designed as a smart, sustainable city focused on human well-being. It is expected to serve as a model for future urban development, integrating artificial intelligence, green design and social values in line with the Malaysian Madani vision. Barisan Nasional has adopted an open stance and will not stand in the way if MIC decides to leave the coalition. BN Chairman Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the coalition has never compelled any party to join or remain within its ranks.
Kita terbuka. Dulu kita ada 14 parti-parti komponen di dalam Barisan Nasional dan tidak ada paksaan sama ada untuk masuk ataupun untuk keluar. Jadi tentunya mereka akan membuat satu keputusan yang bijak, bagi menentukan gabungan mana yang mereka akan sertai. Asalkan mereka tidak akan menyesal di kemudian hari.
Commenting on MIC's decision not to invite him to its General Assembly, Zahid described it as a normal occurrence in the dynamics of political relations among component parties. The country's economy expanded 5.2% in the third quarter, marking its strongest growth in a year. The achievement also surpassed market forecasts, signaling resilient domestic momentum. The latest figures from the Department of Statistics showed a rise from 4.4% in the second quarter, driven by stronger services, manufacturing and mining output. According to analysts, the mining sector rebounded strongly, while services and manufacturing continued to support domestic demand. Kenanga Research and UOB have both revised their 2025 growth forecast upward to 4.5%, citing stronger household spending and tourism recovery. However, they warn that external risk, including global trade uncertainty and rising business costs, could weigh on growth next year. Meanwhile, Malaysia's trade value rose to over 2.2 trillion ringgit in the first 9 months of the year, the highest on record, driven by stronger exports and imports during the period. According to the Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry, MITI, exports grew by nearly 5% to 1.17 trillion ringgit, while imports climbed to over 1 trillion ringgit. Nationwide trade continued its upward trend, expanding by almost 10% in September. Exports have also strengthened for 3 consecutive months, with August recording 138.7 billion ringgit, the second highest value this year. As for outlook, MITI said ongoing global trade tensions and the possibility of new tariffs among major economies remain key challenges. The ministry is also urging local exporters to diversify their markets and strengthen supply chain resilience to sustain growth.
The East Coast Economic Region Development Council is shaping Malaysia's industrial future, from building advanced manufacturing hubs to leading carbon capture initiatives. ECERDC is driving investment and sustainability, powering Malaysia's journey toward net zero. Zahir Kelvin Ong Abdullah speaks with ECERDC Chief Operating Officer Datuk Ragu Sampasivan, only on Money Matters, this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Four former bank officers charged with accepting bribes. This and more after this breather.
Let's have it. You don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. Hey, Pedro.
तुम मेरी जिंदगी के बारे में जानते क्या? पति ने मारा है बॉयफ्रेंड ने?
पति ने
फ्रेंड, मॉम, मुझे आपसे प्राइवेटली कुछ बातें करनी है.
So scene yang paling saya suka masa ritual, the best scene I pernah tengok dalam cerita horror. 10 out of 10.
Scene yang paling best yang dia dekat attic dia tu.
Macam US sikit kan?
Macam US. 10 out of 10 lah. 9%.
Scene yang hampir di hujung, reveal lah semua benda yang terjadi tu sebenarnya kenapa. Dia punya editing kat situ memang best.
Masa tu dua anak saya tak ada makan minum. Itulah salah satu yang saya susah-susah sangat.
Bukan senanglah nak meniagakan ikan ni tau. Sebab pernah pergi pasar borong, nak ambil ikan, nak balik sini, nak jual dekat sini.
You jadi peniaga yang betul-betul sungguh-sungguh buat you punya bisnes. You boleh buat.
Dan kita nampak a lot of success cases. Sahabat-sahabat India ini berpeluang meningkatkan kualiti hidup dan kita lihat anak-anak mereka juga semakin berjaya dalam pendidikan.
Dari Melaka ke negeri Pahang, singgah sebentar. Singgah ke mana? Singgah ke Pahang lah untuk meneruskan misi mencari kari yang paling unik, asli dan terbaik. Mereka menggunakan ikan pancing yang memang fresh. Di manakah pot kari yang terbaik dekat Pahang ni? Sama-sama kita nantikan jalan-jalan cari makan Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. 4 former bank officers were charged at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court on Friday with receiving bribes in connection with personal loan applications that exceeded eligibility limits. All 4 accused pleaded not guilty to charges involving bribes totaling over 170,000 ringgit. Nur Iskandar Aziz, age 44, Muhammad Najmi Muaz Pekan, age 34, and Amir Hafizi Anwar, age 29, entered their pleas before Judge Rosli Ahmad. Nur Iskandar faces 10 charges of accepting bribes worth over 94,000 ringgit, while Muhammad Najmi Muaz faces 2 charges involving more than 5,000 ringgit from a company. Amir Hafizi, on the other hand, faces 7 charges involving bribes worth more than 37,000 ringgit. The payments were allegedly made as rewards for helping to process personal financing applications from clients of a financial consultancy firm, which submitted multiple loan applications to various banks simultaneously. Meanwhile, Shazwan Akmal Badran, aged 33, also pleaded not guilty before Judge Azura Alwi to 8 charges of accepting bribes amounting to 42,000 ringgit. All offences were allegedly committed between October 5, 2021 and July 5, 2024. The court granted bail ranging from 10,000 to 25,000 ringgit, with case mention dates set between November 20th and December 3rd. Meanwhile, the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission has obtained clearance from the Attorney General's chambers to charge another 16 individuals under Ops Sky. In total, 349 charges involving nearly 2 million ringgit will be filed under the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act. The latest development follows the charging of 2 bank officers in Kuala Lumpur on Thursday and 4 former bank officers on Friday. According to a source, the charges will be filed in stages across several courts nationwide. The suspects, comprising current and former bank officers, had allegedly accepted bribes to process and approve personal loan applications submitted by a financial consultancy firm, resulting in customers obtaining multiple loans beyond their eligibility limits. Over in Pulau Pinang, police are actively tracking down a suspect in the case of a man found dead inside a suitcase in Butterworth last week. State Police Chief Dato Azizi Ismail said so far 3 witnesses have given their statements to aid investigations.
Dan kita masih giat meneruskan kita punya pengesanan dan kita berharap dalam masa dekat ini kita dapatlah untuk menangkap yang terlibat.
The witnesses include the individuals who discovered the body and the victim's car. On October 9th, the body of 31-year-old insurance agent Lee Boon Han was found by drain maintenance workers near a flat in Permatang Pau. The victim was found with injuries to the neck, his hands bound and his head covered with a plastic bag. A post-mortem revealed the victim died from suffocation. Police are investigating the case under the Penal Code for murder. One killed, several more injured as Israeli warplanes strike Lebanon. The details when Nightline returns.
Cahaya Dipa Valley menyuluh realiti. Majalah 3, 20 Oktober.
Masa tu 2 anak saya tak ada makan minum. Saya susah-susah sangat.
Pembelian dia bawah 100, dia tak boleh beli satu pun.
999, 21 Oktober.
Perselisihan faham dan juga pertengkaran.
Fail Mahkamah, 22 Oktober. Hanya di TV3.
Gini, and you are the first person yang I jumpa.
Masih nak jumpa dengan I lepas ni?
Kembali dalam menyambung ikatan yang bukan miliknya.
You tak ada perasaan dekat I ke?
You yang buat I tunggu.
Cinta lama diuji dendam.
Siapa perempuan tu?
Isteri saya.
Rahsia bersilang mengikat takdir cinta terlarang.
Surprise! Kenalkan isteri kedua ya.
Isnin hingga Jumaat, 7 malam di Akasia TV3.
Jalan-jalan, cari makan.
Gendang-gendut tali kecapi. Cari kari, dapat hadiah lagi.
Memang puas hati.
Misi menangi kari dah bermula. Tak sabarnya nak menang.
Kari.
Nak tahu syarat-syarat penyertaan? Senang je. Pergi ke laman media sosial TV3 Malaysia untuk maklumat lanjut.
Sur, padu.
Dan saksikan Jalan-Jalan Cari Makan setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 atau stream juga melalui Tonton untuk peluang menang hadiah. Kari penuh rasa, hadiah penuh gaya.
Dipa Bali tahun ni memang lain macam meriahnya.
Rawat rasa super nak beri tangan.
Memang sedap.
Rava Tose, 18 Oktober. Kalho Naho, 19 Oktober. Nyalakan keriangan Deepavali hanya di TV3.
The foreign front. At least one person was killed and 7 others injured after Zionist forces launched several airstrikes on southern and eastern Lebanon on Thursday, marking a new violation of the ceasefire in place since November last year. Local media reported that 2 of the attacks hit the town of Bnaful in Sidon and another struck Kirbet Duer between Sarafand and Baisaria. The powerful blast sent shockwaves across southern Lebanon, sparking panic as missiles lit up the night sky. The Zionist regime claimed it targeted Hezbollah and its allies. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun, however, insisted the strikes targeted civilian facilities, condemning what he said was a breach of a ceasefire negotiated last year. Now in Gaza, the UN World Food Programme, WFP, cautioned Friday that reversing famine in the enclave will take time, urging all crossings to be opened to flood Gaza with food. Its spokeswoman, Abir Etifa, said the ceasefire has provided a narrow window of opportunity, with the agency moving quickly to scale up food aid for families who have endured months of blockade, displacement and hunger. From Saturday to Wednesday, about 230 trucks carrying 2,800 tons of food entered Gaza. However, an Israeli extremist group known as T-Sav-9 blocked humanitarian aid trucks at the Karim Shalom crossing. The same group that had repeatedly disrupted aid convoys before the ceasefire took effect on October 10th. In another development, Hamas on Thursday reaffirmed its commitment to the ceasefire agreement with Israel and said it is working to hand over the remaining bodies of Israeli captives, though the process will take some time. The group said recovering the 19 remaining bodies is difficult, as some were buried in destroyed tunnels or under rubble from Israeli strikes. Hamas stressed it needs heavy equipment to remove debris, but said these are unavailable due to Israel's ban on their entry. The group held Israel responsible for the delay, accusing it of obstructing recovery efforts. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump urged patience, saying Hamas was actually digging for the remains, but later expressed frustration and threatened to kill the group over Gaza clashes. The first phase of the ceasefire and prisoner swap under Trump's plan took effect on October 10th, with Hamas releasing 20 Israeli captives alive and 10 bodies, while Israel had freed nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners so far. On to sports now. Badminton and the 2025 Denmark Open. Malaysia's campaign in the Super 750 badminton tournament remains alive as top mixed doubles duo Cheng Tanji and To Yi Wei advanced to their 6th semi-final in 7 tournaments. The world champions underlined their status as Malaysia's leading pair after defeating compatriots Goh Soon Huat and Chevon Lai 21-17, 21-11 in just 38 minutes. Tanji and Yi Wei will next face either China's world number 1 pair, Zhang Zhenbang and Wei Yaxing, or Denmark's Matthias Christensen and Alexandra Boge for a place in the final. Meanwhile, Malaysia's men's doubles duo, Tan Wee Kiong and Azrin Ayub, saw their impressive run come to an end, falling to China's world number 4 pair, Wang Chang and Liang Wei Keng, 19-21, 18-21, also in 38 minutes. Turning to football, the Malaysia FA Cup. 2 quarter-final first legs took place on Friday night. Sabah FC claimed a 2-1 win over Kelantan, the Real Warriors FC, taking a narrow advantage into the return leg, while Johor Darul Takzim JDT fought hard for a 2-1 win over Penang FC at the City Stadium. Cisco Munoz's side got off to a flying start with Oscar Arribas netting in the 7th minute after a slick move with Jairo da Silva and Herbetti Fernandez. Penang hit back in the 36th minute when Adib Raup reacted quickest to bury a rebound past Shihan Hazmi. But the hosts were dealt a blow before the break as Ahmad Irfan was shown a straight red for a dangerous tackle on Romel Morales. Agar Axketse restored JDT's lead in the 55th minute with a thunderous strike, giving the Southern Tigers a slender advantage heading into the second leg in Johor on October 28th. That concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as Palestinians reunite in joy and tears at Gaza's Said al-Hashim Mosque, praying together for the first time in 2 years. With that, I'm Nurin Razmyn. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.